What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? No, Thursday night edition. I think this is like my fourth live stream this week. Let's go. Robin, $5 super chat. My first super chat on the new channel. Thank you so much. I truly do appreciate it. I really do. Thank you so much. Jeff, yeah, man, I could pour you. Still got some I got some Jameson Black Label still. So when we're down in the dumps about our portfolios, we have a drink. But I put a community post on the main channel about, do you guys want to see trade updates when I can get them in? So I figured, all right, I could get one in. I can definitely do a trade update, especially today because I learned a couple things. I probably won't do like trade updates every single day, but if I can do one every once in a while, or if I learn something, it's a shame. It always looks like we learn lessons from our failures, but I actually learned some things today from my successes, and I also learned some things from my failures today. And the name of the game is I can't keep emotion out of this. I really can't. I go in with like this whole game plan of I'm going to be so technically sound and sure, and then emotion gets the best of me. I'm going to show you 4 day trades I did today. Only one of them was profitable. One of them was pretty bad. One of them was a mistake, meaning I bought a put instead of buying a call, which I think we've all done that. But the main purpose is to let you know, one, I'm not perfect. I'm with you. And if your portfolio is getting smacked a little bit because it's getting smacked, I got a Leaps video coming out later this week about how we can talk about that. But I just want to be transparent and let you guys know, like, I'm not winning right now as I'm learning. I mentioned on the Average Money podcast that we recorded last night, my Q1 goal is, or my Q1 expectations for trading, swing trading and day trading, is to like probably lose money. That's my realistic expectation. It's market tuition. I took a certain amount of money that I said, okay, I can lose this amount of money to learn. I believe in market tuition. I've done it before with other option strategies. Do I want to lose it all? No, but I expect that I'll probably lose a fair amount of it. And then Q2, my expectations are to be break even. So still down for the year, a loss in Q1, a gain, break even in Q2. And then Q3 and 4, try and see if we can get a little bit of a roll on. For me, luckily, most of Q2 is over my summer break, where I'll really be able to jump in and figure this in and be more consistent with it. But these trades happened on both Robinhood and on Webull. I kind of have my accounts split right now. I am trading with settled funds because I want to avoid the PDT rule. And I also want to make sure that I'm not rushing in. If I had 25 grand in, because I had 25 grand in my Robinhood portfolio, I probably would lose more money faster. Like I said, I put some money aside that I knew I could pay towards market tuition. So I kind of split it up so I didn't have 25 grand in. I can't just blow through some things. So I want to show you like what I learned today. Aaron, thank you so much for the $20 super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. It's like, I don't go live on my main channel really ever. So I'm not one for super chats, and I forgot how freaking cool they are. Cheers. I really do appreciate it. And that'll go towards licking some of my wounds. And we're supposed to get 2 feet of snow tomorrow night. So Aaron, Robin, I will put that towards my weekend bottle of whiskey when I get to the liquor store tomorrow on my way home from work. Depending on if we get any more super chats, maybe I'll get myself something really fancy. But right now I can get myself a bottle of Maker's Mark or something. That will get me through the weekend. So cheers to you guys for helping me drink through the snowstorm. Here is the Weeble. And if you are new to Weeble, I just did a video on how to like lay this out. I apologize if you're on a phone and it looks kind of small. I'm going to talk through the things that I'm saying. But maybe this would be best on like your computer or something like that. Yeah, I don't think Hun's in here. If he does, he's going to come in. He's going to be mad. If first, I'll show you the blood in the water that I'm going through right now. I currently have 100 shares of Camping World, and other than that, I do not have. And then I have a cash secure put on SWBI. Those are like the only wheel stuff, and then I have SPY calls, Apple calls, SoFi calls, and Palantir calls, all just getting smacked. SPY is down $3,100. Apple 777, SoFi 81. That was kind of like a runner. I did pretty good. I had 10 contracts of SoFi. This was a runner, so I'm going to lose on this most likely. And then Palantir, I'm probably going to get smacked on that one too, and have to realize those gains as well. There he is. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Now, I did JP Morgan puts. So my win today was on a put, but it wasn't on SPY. Let's first talk AMC. I'm glad you're here because aren't you the AMC guy? Here's what kind of happened with the first AMC move. The white line here represents the market open. Okay. So I was all excited, and we had like a little bit of a start to the green yesterday. And then it was coming back down and kind of closed out the day on a little bit of flush after that meeting. It hopped right up and then recovered back down to the 30 EMA. And then it started to climb. And frankly, I just got excited that this one was going to be green. I got to be honest. My excitement blurred the fact, and here's the lessons that we need to learn. It blurred the fact that the RSI wasn't in my favor. It was pretty much overbought. And also, too, that the MACD was starting to kind of crest. Now, granted, it hadn't came over yet, but it was kind of looking like it might. I got in and I was excited, and it just started to drop. Now, here's the lesson for this one, and something I've been absolutely terrible at. And it's the reason why I'm in the red in all of these other ones. They are a little bit longer in expirations, but my losses so far this year, here is the reason. The reason, or the good thing that I came out of this, and one thing that I'm very happy with myself about, is I cut my losses early. I took the L early. So far in this journey, I've been taking the L at the end, or when it's too late, or when I'm just screwed. Like, for example, Palantir. I got those at an average price at $1.10. They're down to 8 cents. I did not know how to set losses. And that was one of the things when I went into this. I said to myself, I have a plan. I'm going to get out of this if I need to. And it dropped down to the point I set a stop loss, and boom. I had to get out of there. Okay. And let's go to the order so you can see the actual time. So I bought a call here, and that was at 9:53 in the morning. And then I was out by 10:22. No good. Okay. And on that one, I ended up losing 229 to 163, which is like a 300 and change loss for that one. I then started poking around, and I got to Facebook. I'll bring up Facebook. Here I actually took some notes because I did 2 Facebooks. Here's the market open. I'm going to scroll this out. Where did I write that? I wrote that there. Okay. So we can see that I bought right here, and I put a note that I should have waited for the break below the 180. Okay. So this was a put, and I saw it coming down, but I did not wait. The lesson for this one is I did not wait on enough confirmation. I really should have waited until this dipped below. I saw it dip below the EMA. I probably should have waited for a more conscious effort. I tried to look after going back and realizing how bad I did with the AMC. I was like, okay, RSI is definitely downward. MACD, let's try and do this. But the thing that I didn't wait for really that confirmation that I should have got. And then it pretty much stayed flat. It didn't really do much. And once again, I said, let's not force this. Let's not wait for a miracle to happen. Let's just say this was a bad trade and let's get the hell out of here. Now that for me was a 310 down to 1260. So I took another $70 loss. And at this time I was like so frustrated with myself that here I am losing money again. But in hindsight, I was thinking to myself, what can I do? And that's when I started taking notes. So for the rest of the day, I took notes on each trade so I could go back and do things like this. And the lesson for this one was, if it's not working, then I'm just gonna get out. All right. But I kept watching it and I tried to see if something else would happen that would be a little bit more in my favor. So let's scroll here. So then I got back in, and what I did on this one was I did a call this time. I was like, all right, maybe it's going to go up. Pretty much what I saw was the MACD cross. It came across there, and I was like, all right, it's going to be riding up. So let's go call this side instead of put. And also with this one, the last strike was 302. This was 297. So I went in the money with it to give myself a little bit more leeway, a little bit more play. So I bought this one for 1160. And that was at 1148. And then I sold it right here at 1230. So this was like the first little bit of profit. And going in, we can see I got excited and this sell was too early. So here's another trend that's been happening to me. I'm taking a lot of like little tiny nuggets of wins, but then I'm getting smacked at a loss and it's clearing all of my wins out and then some. This was a little bit of that example. I should have stuck to my guns a little bit. We see that the MACD was still, the momentum was still trending up. We were still, when I sold, we were up around 63. So we were getting towards that spot. And if you look, like I saw one red candle and I like, abort, get me out of here. It was like green. I was feeling good. Now, granted, how long would have stayed if I would have made this quote a perfect trade? Maybe I would have stayed until it crossed down. And then I realized in hindsight as well, maybe I didn't, because if it still would have went up and I would have waited for that MACD to cross down, we could see I would have been about the same exact price that I sold. So I maybe wouldn't have, it probably would have ended up being one half dozen of the other. And then I would have had to wait another 20 minutes for this to happen. So I was happy to at least get like a win under my belt. The next place that things started going wrong for me was I got into AMC again. And this was the second mistake that I made. I said, oh shit, I put not call. I did a put, a not call, and then I got distracted. So you have to understand too, guys, I'm also doing this while I'm at work. And I gave tests today and I'm in my office. I have an open door policy. And I literally made this trade. It was a buy at 144. And I thought I did a call. I rushed. And then a student came in and started asking me all these questions. And I'm at work, so I gave them my full due diligence. I did not have my computer open, nothing. They talked with me for about 20 minutes, pretty much like till here. So then I got in and I was like, okay. Right when it was coming down like this, and I was like, oh man. But then we started seeing green. And I was like, oh, sweet green. Oh, sweet green. And I went to look at what the position was looking like. And the value kept going down. I was like, what the hell? That's when I realized that I sold the put and I was like, I'm out. So this was just a situation where I should have realized instantly that that I did the wrong thing. But unfortunately, because I was at work and I'm doing this as a side hustle and fun, So that one was 144 to 29. Not that big of a deal. So we're talking like, what was that, like $14? So that one's not the end of the world. Now the win. I had a really, really good win, which kind of helped balance out the rest of this day. Oh, Jeffrey, thank you so much. So what do I got? 40, 45, 55. I got $60 whiskey for this weekend. Cheers to you. I mean, Jeffrey pretty much drank a whole bottle of my whiskey the other day. So I guess it goes around, comes around. So cheers, man. I appreciate that. Let's get to this win, okay? And let's see, like, out of this whole culmination of a day, what happened. I'd gone through all of my settled cash inside of Webull. So I used Webull charts, but then I had to go over to Robinhood to make these trades. And this was with JP Morgan. So here's the open for JP Morgan. This happened a little bit later in the day. So this is 12:30, right after my lunch. So here's essentially what happened with this one. And I don't know if it was a great trade or not, but here was at least my mindset and my thinking when it went into this. I saw the EMA for a pretty good amount of time from about 11:54 till then. So for the last half hour, the SPY was on the way down. TQQ was on the way down. Everything was trending kind of in the downward direction at this point in the day. And it was using the EMA as a resistance. So I figured as long as I'm staying down, and then we started to see the curve in the 180, I'm like, all right, this looks like a pretty good downward trend. The MACD was slow, but nothing crazy, but it was still slowly downward. And if anything, the RSI wasn't in an amazing place, but I was kind of just going with my gut, trying to figure this out. Like, you can't go all by technical analysis. You have to kind of get a feel for the market in that time, I think. And I went ahead and made 3 puts. I bought 3 puts. Why 3? I wanted to go in for about 10% of the portfolio value. So that got me to that 10% of the portfolio value at 12. That cost me $1,275. And if you've ever done this, when things go right, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's a gambler's mentality. Maybe it's that warm, fuzzy feeling, but it started to go down. And I don't know if I early sold this or not, but essentially it got down to here. We can zoom in a little bit. And once again, I saw one green candle and I freaked out. I mean, there were green candles along the way, but at this point, I was getting to that point where you say to yourself, man, I'm up. If this bounces and I lose what I'm up right now, I'm going to be pissed, especially after the day that I had. So I said, hey, let's get $940 back, and then we'll leave one as like a little bit of a runner. All right. So that left me pretty much $300 in the hole. And I was like, I'll let one run. And this is where I was kind of like mad that I might have sold a little bit early. But it came back up, and I saw it coming back up. I saw the MACD coming. I'm like, Brad, let's see. We'll set a stop. If it breaks above the EMA, these were things I was telling myself, that's when I'll get out. And I'll take my wins and I'll get out. But sure enough, it did bounce, and then it started coming back down. And then we see I sold out of it at pretty much 105. Okay? Couple things here. Full transparency. This is when my bell rang. And I didn't want what happened to me earlier in the day when I stepped away from my computer and it went against me. I said, let's just take the loss. I did see the fact that the MACD was crossing down. We were heading now into an oversold area. I probably, if I was sitting at my desk, I probably would have held this down a little bit longer. And in hindsight, right, hindsight's 20/20, this could have really, really been a good, successful trade for me. But also, when I sold this, I knew that I had an old swing that was going poorly for me. That's my dog barking, so we'll just take this. I knew that if it went up, I'd be very happy. If it kept going down, I had a swing that was expiring tomorrow that I had to cut losses on. And that's this 2 down here that I got $51 back. I ended up taking like a $200 realized loss on that position as well. So all said and done, I pretty much lost $300 off the bat. Then I lost another 100 or so on this. And then I got them back with the small wins. And I ended up the day like down maybe like 331. But more importantly, awesome lessons. 1, take the L early if you need to, Brad. And I'm glad I did that, because with that AMC, that could have, if I wouldn't have taken the L early right here, in the past, I've been riding this all the way down, and I would have been down here. I would have lost all my money. Instead of losing $100, I would have lost it all, and I would have been in a much worse position, and I wouldn't have been able to attempt to do this. I was thinking to myself and watching people, Brad, let it go down, and we can enter a new trade and get our rebound that way. Instead of trying to hold on to trades and have them hopefully go in your favor, I'm finding out, get out, take the L, and get the win either later on or the next day, and that's going to be okay. We have to look at the big picture, which I have not been doing. The other major thing that I was found out was just like I wasn't getting trigger happy on my losses, but I was getting trigger happy on my wins. Stick to the plan. Try not to get out too early. I think that was a little bit of, I've taken so many losses that I wanted to, get some green under my belt. I wanted to get some wins under my belt. And I feel like that's a lot of the reason too why I sold a little bit early. But overall picture of the portfolio, and if I have some more days like this, I'll definitely hop on, and I'll definitely clip this and edit it and get it onto the main channel for future reference. But I think for the year so far, so we're 27 days in, about to get through our first month, I have realized losses at just under $1,000. And right now in play, I have about $10,000 or so, between $10,000 and $12,000. Now, luckily, I'm not terribly worried, because I don't think that we are in this forever, this downtrend. And if we can see, a lot of my positions, guys, are, let's go to positions. February 18th, but that's a covered call. March 31st, April 15th, March 18th, and February 18th. So that Palantir one's about 22 days away, and then the other ones are about 50 days away. So we have at least some time before I need to panic, and also I can start writing some calls against them if they end up in the money. And also I'm going to be using my settled cash to hopefully make some more smaller wins to mitigate some of these bigger losses. And like I said, end of Q1, March 31st, I expect to be down. I really do. And I hope to just learn a ton between now and then Q2, that's really when I want to put my foot on the gas and really learn some things. Do you guys have any questions about what I did, or criticisms? The community, I'm here for you guys. Can you help me out? Does it sound right? What did I do wrong? What are you guys looking at for tomorrow? We can see, if we want to talk tomorrow quick, it's looking like we're getting a lot of green. Are we gonna get a good Friday tomorrow? I don't have any more long puts, so let's go green all the way ahead. I have been chipping away at it, but everything looks good right now. The SPY after hours, we can click that on. Pretty much just floating around, chilling like a villain, Bob Dylan. TQQ, which has been the death of me before, that's also up a little bit. So hopefully we'll get some momentum in. But like I said, I would love to hear what you guys got going on. Jeff, you did drink? Well, maybe me and you almost drank a whole bottle. I forgot that you got here late on Friday. My bad. Oh, Ryan, yeah, they announced FinCon for Orlando. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to be there. That is the week of Labor Day. My first day of classes is Tuesday after Labor Day. So I'd have to be shipping out on Wednesday. I'm doing some other things. I might be going to, Chautauqua, which is like a really high-end personal finance, financial independent camp run by J.L. Collins, the guy that wrote The Simple Path to Wealth. He's doing a week-long excursion in Colombia. It's usually in Portugal. So I might be going down to Colombia from September 10th to the 17th. So that also conflicts with FinCon. Obviously you're like, well, you just said you can't miss class. If I decide I'm going to pull the Chautauqua, that'll probably come with a retirement from teaching. I'm also going to Camp Phi in the Rocky Mountains on the weekend after 4th of July. So those are kind of like the events that I'm doing. FinCon, it just it's great for certain levels, and I've been told that last year was my first year going and that it wasn't the same, but I feel like I just didn't get a ton out of it. They might, I mean, JJ's probably going to talk me into going, but I don't think so. And also, with all due respect, Florida, even with my buddy DeSantis down there, like, there's very few states in the nation that I just have zero interest in going to. And I don't know if it's because I've been to Florida so many damn times, or if it feels like New York in the summer, just hot, humid, more bugs, and more old people driving slow. I do not get fired up about Florida. Something about it. I don't get fired up. There's so many other places, like with Jeffrey coming to see me, like Houston, Texas is on my radar for this year. His wife's gonna have a baby though and screw everything up. But there's just so many other places that I've never been to that I want to go to. Christopher, yes, it is so hard to trade and work at the same time. That is facts. And like I said, I've said I keep this and my job very separate. Like, do I dabble in things YouTube related at work? Yes, if nothing else in work's going on. But if somebody else or if my students need me, like while I'm at work, school's first. So even though I lost a couple bucks, that's just part of the business, I guess. Think Apple is going to push tech stocks up a little bit. I don't know, man. I'm long on them. So granted, I would like that very, very much. They're up 5%. So, and I mean, even Microsoft, they had a pretty good couple days after that as well. Let me scroll down a little bit. Go out to like the 1 hour. Get rid of this. Maybe not beautiful, but a little bit of a bounce. We'll see. I mean, I would like to see that. I would like that a lot, actually. Look at what the potential for Apple really is on the 4 hour chart. You can see my call. My call's right here in the dotted line. So whenever I set up my charts here, the green line is where it's currently trading. The dotted blue line is what my strike is at. And then the red line is where my expiration date is. So you can see down the bottom, 414 just gives me a little bit of a visual. But I mean, look at this thing, even the day chart. I mean, could it still come down? I mean, at this point, is anybody going to be shocked if this comes down and hits the 180? I won't be. I won't be. As long as it bounces off that like a freaking golf ball in a parking lot, that would be dope. But this has the potential of being really, really nice, especially if we get a bounce. But I think we still have a lot more. If I was going to be looking to enter more trades with Apple, and that's kind of the one thing I was talking about in my Leaps video that's going to come out early next week, right? Let's be patient. Let's wait for the RSI to get under 30 and then kind of make a break out of that. Let's wait for the MACD. Let's wait and see. Let's get some confirmation. For me at this point, I probably wouldn't be entering trades with Apple in the short term, maybe like a month to 3 months. A Leaps, maybe. But month to 3 months, I kind of want to see the share price back up above the 30-day EMA for me. But yeah, I mean, I would love for them. I guess they had good news because I haven't really done much on the earnings yet because it's family time after school and my kids just went to bed. So this is like the time where I start to look at stuff. But yeah, it looks like they're doing good in the after hours. So I would like that very, very much. Tourists and senior citizens. Yeah. I live in Arizona, which is apparently I've been told is the Florida of the West when I lived in Arizona. Fun fact, guys, never refill your whiskey when it's empty. Always refill it when it's half filled. Why? So the whole drink doesn't get watered down, gets a little bit of a blend, averages everything in nice, and sets the temperature perfect. I'm an ice in my whiskey kind of guy. Anybody else got anything else they want to look at and see, or at least get my opinions on? This was dope, man. Oh my gosh, these super chats. 25, 50, 60. It's going to be a good bottle of whiskey. I'll post it in the Discord what I end up getting. Any recommendations? That might be in Oceans. Might be in Jefferson's Oceans kind of morning tomorrow, but I appreciate you guys. If there's no other questions, we're going to go edit this and try and get it up for Friday post. A little shorter, not as many sips of whiskey. I got to go feed the plants. I got to watch a couple episodes of Yellowstone still. And then enjoy your weekend. We're getting a ton of snow here. I don't really tend to lose power. I'm on the hospital and the high school line. So if I do, I get it right back. But if something were to come up between now and Sunday with this update, we'll see how long I go on Sunday. I'll definitely try and hop on. But playoff football, snowstorm, blizzard, fireplace, a $60 bottle of whiskey. I'll keep you guys posted on Sunday's live stream. If it gets screwed up, I'm off from work on Tuesday because of the Chinese New Year. So if I miss Sunday, we'll crack a few and we'll pour a few for Monday night. Do a little Monday night action.